Previously on Moment of Balance.
My name is Major Adenia Adler of General Kuvira's army, and I demand to be treated as a prisoner of war under the Earth Kingdom law, regardless of what's happened to Kuvira, and the people that are loyal to her are still alive. Perhaps we should go speak to Mr. Carlyle.
I believe this man was drowned.
How was he drowned in the middle of a building?
Hey, you over there!
I was expecting her to reach for her firearm, but she ignored it completely, and
Miss Li Hang, what exactly were you a captain of?
Using a technique inspired by Zahir's assassination of the Earth Queen, use the victim's own bodily fluids to cause them to choke.
Adenia, bolts out.
Stop her at whatever cost!
She raises her gun. Long live Kuvira! And you see Li Hang's head snap back, and she falls down dead. All right, picking up immediately from last time, you just got finished fighting two opponents, one of whom just shot the other, and you started taking fire from somebody up on the old Kyoshi Warrior Watch Tower, not too far from the compound you've been spending most of your time in. So you are now, if I remember correctly, all on Azula and sort of rushing across the field, presumably towards the tower.
Correct.
As you're running to this tower, so this tower is fairly large. It's towers up above the compound, gives whoever's up there a pretty clear view down inside, as has been demonstrated by their ability to shoot at people in there. And as you're running on Azula, a round comes flying down and strikes right next to Azula. You notice that whatever weapon they're using isn't making a lot of noise. You can kind of hear the snap of the round, but you're not hearing a lot of the noises you typically associate with guns. So what y'all doing right now?
Well, I want to make an earth shield to just sort of surround us as we run.
That sounds like an excellent idea.
Chong is doing some airbending on the sides where I assume this area is pretty dusty.
So you're on an open field. There's definitely some dirt, some dust.
I was expecting we're on a dirt road, so Chong's kind of using the dirt to maybe protect Zula a little bit.
Awesome. You're putting up an earth shield around all of you. The airbending is causing a lot of dust to fly around. As you're doing all this, you hear something strike the outside of the dirt shield. It does not penetrate it, though.
Okay.
So whatever you're doing seems to be working. You are extremely close now to the tower. I'm assuming that once you get to it, you're going to try to go up and confront whoever's up there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We're ready to fight.
As you're reaching near the tower, you hear another snap, and this time the round comes through the earth and strikes right next to Azula's tail. So it penetrates the earth shield, leaving a little hole in it.
Okay.
Fortunately for you and Azula, you are now in the shadow of the tower. You can see there's a doorway that leads to the inside of the tower, presumably the stairs up. So what would you all like to do now?
So they already know we're coming. Can't sneak up on them. We can't get the drop on them.
I think two of us should make our way to storm the tower, and the third should stay out here just in case they somehow manage to make their way past us and escape, or come down the front, or come down from the window, or something.
Hanako, as you were saying that, a round hits right at your feet, a few inches from you.
Yup.
Silly question. Is Azula from a safe distance? We don't need to worry about Azula getting shot?
Azula is currently right there, but the person who's shooting at you seems interested in shooting at you, people, not Azula. They don't seem particularly interested in what Azula's about once you're off her.
Is there a clear door in?
Yes, there is a door clearly visible.
As the round hits the ground near Hanako, she pulls the other two into the doorway and says, "All right, the third waits inside the doorway, but my point still stands."
All right. Inside the tower, this is it's mostly made out of stone. It's got a staircase leading up. There is no clear path down the tower. The person in there cannot shoot at you from the inside, but you know that they're up there. So yeah, if you wanna make your way up the tower, or if you want to take a second to talk quickly.
Chong is going to, I think, grab Hanako by the waist and just airbend us up quick, just balloon rocket.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fuzhou, what are you doing while you see Chong just kind of hoist Hanako up and sort of airball their way up the stairs?
Fuzhou just shrugs, and catapults himself in with a thing of earth.
Okay, so you're going to go up the stairs after them?
Yeah.
All right, you're all going up the stairs. All right, so you run up the stairs, you're going around and around, you go up several stories, and finally you come out into this open area on the top. It's got like a, sort of a rampart situation going on, and immediately you see it looks like somebody has been camping here. You see camp set up, you see a whole bunch of equipment there, you see a bunch of sandbags, and you see standing there this person. They have dark hair, tan skin, and brilliant violet eyes, and they are holding a weapon with a weird sort of canister sticking off of the end of it.
What is this weapon made of?
Are you going to try to use your senses?
Yeah.
Roll to rely on your skills and training.
God damn it.
What?
6. I can't feel it.
I'm assuming that neither of you is going to try to aid somehow.
I don't know how I would.
I can't imagine. I can't think of a narrative way that would work for either of you two. Fuzhou, you try to sense what this weapon is made of. You can't easily tell. The stock appears to be wood, just visually speaking. Actually, everybody roll for focus. Everyone.
All right, that's a 6 for me.
Oh boy, these dice don't love me today. There's no way that this succeeds regardless of what my stat is.
9.
Okay, Fuzhou, in spite of not being able to get a clear read on this weapon using your metal bending senses, you do notice that the entire, all the metal parts of the gun appear to be extremely shiny. This looks very similar to a gun you've seen recently in the hands of your friend. So you strongly suspect that this is a platinum weapon, and the rest of it is made of wood, which you can't bend.
Lovely.
This woman sort of lowers the gun and looks at all of you and sort of widens her stance. You shouldn't be here.
Well, clearly neither should you.
You're too late. Everything that you are here to do, you've already failed.
Can always keep you from doing more.
I'm going to give you one chance. You can walk down and leave, and I won't bother you. And all you have to do is let me go.
I don't think that's going to be happening.
I suspected you wouldn't. She sort of shrugs off the coat and congratulations, you're now in active combat, baby! Do your thing, declare your approaches. NPCs, defend and maneuver.
Fuzhou is going to defend and maneuver.
Cool.
I'm going to evade and observe.
I'm just going to advance and attack.
All right, defend and maneuver, people. Let's go. You see this person immediately, as soon as you show up and it's clear that you're fighting now, she ducks behind this big pile of crap, and you can kind of see her huddling up there with the rifle. And at the same time, you notice that she's really steeling herself and bracing against this thing. So she's braced up there under cover.
Well, I rolled a 12.
Oh, you did roll a 12. You can do basically whatever the fuck you want. Defend and maneuver.
I'm just curious.
Yes.
What's this watchtower made of?
It is made of regular old stone. You can earthbend it. No, the only thing that you suspect is not made of just regular old material is this woman's weapon.
All right, so I see that she's going to a different corner. I'm going to follow her to a different corner, but I am going to lean up against the wall and wrap stone around my body.
Okay.
As I get closer. So I'm going to seize a position.
This is seize a position.
I'm going to ready, and I'm going to give my focus stat.
Yeah, prepared
Okay, cool.
is definitely. You know what? Because you're sort of wrapped yourself in stone, you're in a very friendly environment. As long as you're in this defensive position, I'm going to give you the empowered status. So you can clear a fatigue at the end of every turn, unless something were to happen to stop that. Advance and attack. I think that's Chong. Roll with passion and let's see what you're doing.
Oh no. So 5 + 1's a 6. I think narratively it's more interesting if Chong misses. I like the idea that Chong at first I was going to have Chong use Smash, with the idea he was going to try to attack the gun. I like this idea that maybe Chong, maybe at first hesitant to use bending in such a small place, rushes forward and tries to interlocks his hands over his head in a big fist and runs over yelling "Rah!" And then he tries to hit, and your girl just steps to the side or something, and Chong just running forward into the wall or something.
You try to throw some air at her, and she just kind of like braces against this cover, and it just goes right over her head. All right, evade and observe, Hanako.
That is an 11.
Ooh.
2 basic or mastered techniques is what I'm gonna go with. I wanna test balance, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark 1 fatigue, and Hanako is going to take her stance to get ready as she sees her friends charging forward, and is just going to say, "What are you fighting for? This doesn't have to go this way."
The woman steps out of the cover, and you see her standing there holding this rifle very casually, very naturally, and she takes a couple steps forward towards you and looks at you and says, "This has been going this way for years, for decades. You have no idea what you're stepping into. And I will watch this whole world burn before I let you stop it from happening." Her principle is fanaticism.
For my second technique, I'm going to use my rapid assessment technique that I have mastered. Quickly take in your situation far faster than normal. Ask 1 question about the situation at hand, become prepared to act on the answer, and you may call out your plan to your ally to make them prepared as well.
All right, ask your question.
What is this person going to do next? What's their next move forward?
From the look of the way that they're acting towards you, they're going to attack the hell out of you.
Awesome, yeah. Fuzhou looks pretty ready for whatever's coming at him, so I'll call out to Chong and say, "Chong, incoming!" And yeah, you can also mark prepare.
As you're now resolved this exchange, the woman sort of like looks down at the rifle and then just like throws it off to the side and then takes a stance that looks very familiar to you, Fuzhou. This is clearly an earthbender who has a lot of training. Incidentally, and not related to anything specific, but you see the same kind of pistol on her hip that has been on like everyone else's involved in this.
I know she's an earthbender, but I don't know that she's a metal bender, do I?
You do not know that she's a metal bender or not. Okay, cool. Everyone choose your approach. NPC is going to advance an attack.
Chong's also going to advance an attack.
Dope.
Fuzhou's also going to advance an attack.
Cool.
I will defend and maneuver.
All right, Hanako, you're up first.
That's focus, so that's a 6.
All right, so you're not going to burn a fatigue to use basic technique.
Actually, I will do that, yeah. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm gonna erase that fatigue and actually unmark prepared to get the +1 for the roll.
There you go. All right, so you rolled a 7.
I will go ahead and I'll retaliate. Yeah, Hanako will start pulling some fire out and just have a couple streams circling her.
As you're beginning this exchange, this woman crouches down and looks at you, Fuzhou. Hey, what's your armor made out of?
It's metal.
Okay, cool. So you see this woman, she like does a quick grabbing motion and you feel this armor constrict on you immediately and heavily. You are no longer empowered, you are now impaired. That is a smash.
Oh, shit.
And then she quickly sweeps her arm around and grabs like a chunk of rock and just whips it at your head, and that's it for her. She's just beating you up a little bit, Fuzhou.
Well, shit.
And you are impaired.
Well, I still get my...
Yeah, you still get to do your thing, because...
Well, that's a 12.
Well, shit.
I am going to... As she's crushing me with her fucking metal bending,
Yeah.
Well, shit, there goes my plan for when she was down. I'm gonna basically take the like rock armor around me and pelt her with the stone. I am going to let you choose what happens.
Okay, she is now angry. You see this hit her. She's crouching into it, and she looks fucking pissed off now.
And because I get a 12, I get 2.
You get 2.
So yeah, I'm also going to use Smash. I see she has this gun. She may be able to metal bend, but she can't use a useless gun. I'm crushing that shit.
Okay, cool. She looks pissed off that you crushed this gun in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense for its actual utility. All right, Chong, what you doing?
In total, 6 + 1, I got a 7. I think Chong's just gonna strike. I'm sorry. I think what Chong does, like, Chong tries to do the same move he did earlier with, like, blowing a gust of wind, but this time adds more force.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you throw this gust of wind at her and it kind of knocks her back and she falls on her ass and then like immediately sort of jumps back up into her bending stance. She looks at you, Chong, and she looks like really pissed at you in particular after that little display, and she just clenches her fist. You're gonna pay for that, monk.
Chong looks at her and he does an airbending pose and says, "You hurt my friends. You're the one that's going to pay. Also, I'm not a goddamn monk. Seriously, why do people keep saying that? Not even when I am in the damn uniform. Damn it!"
Next one up. She's gonna advance and attack again.
After that statement, Chong is absolutely going to advance and attack again.
I'm gonna defend a maneuver.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll also defend and maneuver again.
Well, I rolled a fucking 2.
Well, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I'm stuck still.
Congratulations, buddy. That's the worst that anyone's ever done that. So you see Fuzhou just kind of like struggling and like stumbling around.
On my end, that is a 5. So, I'll mark a fatigue. Is the doorway, like, are we still blocking the doorway?
No, you've like, so this is like an stair leading up out of the floor, and you're out of that area. You're like in the roof area.
I want to seize a position in order to just, like, block off the exit.
Okay, cool. Okay, you're blocking the exit. Hanako, as you're moving towards to block the exit, she does a very dramatic, like, bending stance, pulls her arms in, and all of the rubble and everything just, like, collapses down into the stairwell, blocking it off. So she has now blocked the exit. Like, it would require bending to get through it at this point. As she's doing that, she, like, steps in toward you, Hanako, and like gets right up in your face and sort of like shoves you back. You cannot use the defend and maneuver approach on the next exchange. And you know what? That's all she's going to do this turn. All right, Chong, you're also attacking, so.
Chong got a 3. Chong does like this epic scene of like trying to do like this good epic move, and he just blows the wind in the completely wrong direction.
It makes like a fart noise.
Literally, like Chong's like, he looks really concentrated. He's like, it's just a little. Chong looks around and goes, "Sorry guys, that might be." He points at their opponent and he goes, "Next time you're gonna get it. Just you wait. I'm gonna."
She's just ignoring you, Chong. She's staring directly at Hanako, and it's like right up in your face now. You think I want to leave? Do you think I'm afraid to die?
Oh, goes, I mean, this is kind of shitty place to die.
Listen, I know it's bad out there. It's been bad for a long time. I know someone who grew up out there. I know someone who it taught her how to kill. But there's a better way to be. There's a better way to make change. We've been working at it this entire time.
I want you to roll the plead with a -3 penalty.
It would have been a 6, but it's a 3.
She just laughs in your face. Also, by the way, so between exchanges, do you want to try to get out of this metal armor while she's roll to rely on your skills and training?
I rolled a 3.
Okay,
Fucking 3.
You do not successfully get out.
What is wrong with these fucking dice?
Oh my god! Unfortunately, Fuzhou still struggling to get out.
It's hard to get a good earthbending stance when you can't breathe.
You're really struggling with this.
I like this idea that like Fuzhou is tilting a little bit more, like almost off his feet, like it just barely gets himself back up. But he's just like almost like going around a little circle, just like.
Hey, Chong. You do notice that you see your friend Fuzhou here is really struggling. You do notice that it's probably possible to get his armor off, but it would take a lot of energy to do it. So I'm going to say you can burn a fatigue if you want to try to like force this armor off. Like it's not crushing him to the point where you can't remove it. It's just he can't get it off.
John will totally burn a fatigue to help Fuzhou out.
Okay, all right. So you can like run up and with all your might you manage to like rip open the quick release buckles on this armor and it drops away. You no longer impaired.
Fuck yeah. Fuzhou sort of drops to his knees. Fuck.
John says to him like, "Hey, you okay?"
Like I said before, not as much of an idiot as I thought.
Okay, all right. Next exchange, baby.
John will advance an attack.
NPC is going to defend and maneuver.
Yeah, I guess I will advance an attack.
I'm gonna evade and observe.
Okay. All right, defend and maneuver. All right, so you see this woman, she kind of like pushes you back and then jumps back away from you, Hanako. So if you want, you could stop her from doing this by marking a fatigue. This is her trying to seize a position.
Is there, like, where is she jumping to?
She's jumping back towards where she was taking cover in the first place.
Yeah, I'll mark a fatigue to prevent that. As she goes to jump back, I want to grab her by her collar, and I'll lean in and I'll say, "Wrong choice."
She jumps down and kind of like grabs you by your collar and pulls you in close, kind of like it looks like what Sabi did when she threw Chong that one time. But instead of fully throwing you, she kind of like pulls you in on her. You feel her stiffen her muscles. This is a little weird, so I'm going to explain it mechanically. So this NPC has a thing called to take cover. Right now, she's taking cover using your body, Hanako, which means you, Hanako, can attack her completely normally. But Fuzhou and Chong, you get the sense that if you were to attack her, probably your first attack would hit your friend instead of you. So yeah, you're being like held in close, and you two see this all happening, and that's all she's gonna do for now. All right, advance and attack. You're up.
Okay, that's a 10. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah, so I'll mark the fatigue, and Hanako just reaches down almost habitually like she's going to pull fire out of her sensor, and then just takes a swipe, and this arc of flame lashes out right over her chest, and just like forces her back and forces me back and gets us separated.
Yeah, this woman, like, she lets go of you and falls back. She doesn't fall over, but she's surprised by this and momentarily taken aback. You are no longer being used as an object of cover. Chong, what are you doing? You see that Hanako has like thrown this off, so you can definitely attack without having to worry about hitting her.
Oh, thank goodness. A plus 1's a 9. Chong is going to... Right. I think that makes the most sense. Like, I think he sees, an opening, and I think Chong's just going to do since his roll's been the highest, this turn, like, his most violent, like, kind of punch gust of air, and with the intention of pushing her and having her smack against the wall.
Okay, you throw out your air punch, and you hit her, and you like see her head sort of snap off to the side, and a little fleck of blood comes flying off, and she turns back, and she looks like she is enraged now.
Evade and observe time?
Yeah, evade and observe time. Clear your fatigue if you've got any.
All right, that's an 8.
Okay, do your thing.
So remind me, where exactly is she in position in the room?
She is like, so she and Hanako are both near to the now collapsed entryway. She's been knocked back a couple of steps through the combination of Hanako like throwing her off with the fire blade and the air punchy thing that Chong did. So she's a few steps back, but she's near Hanako.
I want to hinder her.
Okay, what you gonna do?
So whatever I do is not going to be a permanent solution for her,
No.
very clearly. But we are on a stone floor right now.
Okay.
I'm going to open up that stone floor and sink her down a little bit and sort of trap her in there a little bit.
Okay, cool.
I believe that would make her impaired.
All right, so yeah, you do this, and she kind of like sinks down into this hole, and now she's kind of stuck here.
Nice.
All right, then declare your next approach.
I will advance and attack again.
I'd like to evade and observe.
I'm going to defend and maneuver.
Defend and maneuver. Okay, and NPC's going to evade and observe.
Well, doesn't really matter what I do because I rolled a 6.
Okay. All right, attack people.
I got a 9. Where's her attention?
Kind of divided right now. Like she's sort of looking back and forth between Hanako and Fuzhou and you, and she's not really focused on anyone in particular.
Okay, I think since I had the least amount of fatigue, I'm going to use Cannonball.
Okay, so you are marking 1 fatigue, and you're going to crash into her. You are now directly engaged, and she is going to mark... she's more troubled. So you slammed into her, and she's now looking at you.
Chong has a fierce smile on. He says "Pay attention to me."
All right. Evade and observe. Everyone clear a fatigue. She is going to immediately use her earthbending to pop her leg out, so she is no longer impaired. Chong, she turns to you and she slams her foot down and knocks a bit of earth up under you, and before you're able to react, you fall down and slam into the ground. You are now impaired.
Oh no.
And she leans over and looks you right in the eye and, gets down to your level. Tell me, what do you believe in, monk? Why are you doing this? Why are you fighting?
So Chong, I assume, is on his back.
Yeah, you've fallen on your ass.
And she's looming over me. Is she
Yeah, she's kind of crouching down, staring you right in the eyes.
Chong kind of leans up a little bit, and his hands are in fists, and he grits his teeth, and he stares her right back in the eye, and he goes, "Okay, first, not a goddamn monk. I know the outfit's confusing, but I'm not a goddamn monk. Second, unlike you, I am fighting, honestly, just to fucking exist as myself. I am fighting for the ability to find my own bliss with myself and the people that I care about. I am fighting to make the world a better place while also being true to myself. Unlike you, who just does whatever the hell they want because they're angry."
All right, so ending the combat exchange, she reaches down and grabs you and kind of hoists you up. You notice that she is extremely strong, as if she's had extensive military training.
I think she notices that Hanako bristles as she picks up Chong.
Yeah, still looking you in the eyes and says, "You want to follow your bliss? And you think you're going to do that with that corrupt, inbred fuck King Wu in power? You think any of you are free with the system that we have? I'm fighting for something to believe in. You're just here trying to stop the inevitable."
Chong is still meeting her gaze. I think he's kind of mad, though he hasn't broken characters. His fists are still clenched. And he looks at her, and I think even he tries to raise his neck a little bit, to get a little bit more in her face, and he fails completely, but there's the effort. And he goes, "You in what army? You really think what you're doing is going to change anything? You're out here in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, shooting randos. If you really want to change something, do something that matters. At least with what we're doing, we're helping people. That to me already matters. The fact that I'm here doing something that makes myself and the people around me have a better day? Seriously, you're out here by yourself. Who's supporting you? What's gonna come after whatever you're fighting for? You're not fighting for anything. You're just angry and, quite frankly, probably a bit hungry."
With that, I think we have moved into the next combat exchange. I know what she's gonna do. What are y'all gonna do?
I'm gonna advance and attack.
Yeah, I'll also advance and attack. Nobody lays a hand on Chong.
Let's defend and maneuver.
She's gonna advance and attack. All right, Chong, you're up first. Keep in mind you're rolling with a -2 or taking a fatigue.
Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah. 11 plus 1 to 12.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
You could take a -2 and just do what the fuck you want. So I would do that.
That's what I'm doing. So Chong is first going to seize position, like away from Stitch, and he's going to use air. I think maybe like he gets both hands up and just pushes himself away with air to get himself out of her grip.
Awesome. As you're doing this, she like grabs for you and manages to kind of like twist you and sort of half throw you around. So you are still impaired and still held. She took a fatigue to do this.
She wants to hold on to me then.
What's your next thing you're gonna do?
I was gonna use air swipe. So I like this idea like that Chong tries to push himself away with the air and maybe he's like free fall for a moment and she twists and grabs me like like you said, like sweep to the other side and maybe with this free hand, Chong's preparing air swipe.
All right, so advance and attack, which I think is everyone else.
Yep.
All right, so Chong, while you're doing all of this earthbender slams her foot into the ground. You get hit with a pillar of this rock from underneath, and then she sort of punches out, and a block comes flying out and strikes you and sends you flying across the arena. You've just taken 2 strikes.
Oh, wow, she's really mad.
I'm going to say the first strike hits you, the second strike doesn't. Your air swipe manages to divert the block, and you land on your feet. So you're no longer impaired. Take 2 fatigue or mark a condition or shift your balance. She sort of like dashes towards you and is, again, like pressing up like very close to you, sort of pushing you back. So on your next, she is pressuring you now. You cannot use advance and attack on your next turn.
I think Chong is going to take a condition because he already has the 4 fatigue. I want him to be angry. I think Chong's angry now too.
Chong's pissed off. All right. Okay, so other advance and attack people.
I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7. What you doing?
If I strike, will that hit Chong?
No.
Okay, yeah, I'm striking.
Okay.
While she's distracted with Chong, I am going to, so we got all this rubble around, I'm just going to continuously pelt her with a bunch of fucking rocks from around. And I'm gonna mark the fatigue to hammer her.
Okay, are you doing fatigue or are you doing
fatigue
condition? Okay, so she takes 2 fatigue. Hanako, what you doing?
Actually, that's a 10. Excellent.
Hell yeah.
She's just pelting on Chong at the moment still, right?
Yeah, she's engaged with Chong. She just got hit with some crap that Fuzhou launched at her. She's pretty distracted right now.
Yeah, I think now that like everybody's kind of pelting at her, I think I will just try to bolster or hinder. Trying to hinder her, keep her on the back foot, just like lashing out with like a bunch of flames, trying to trip her up, keep her stumbling back.
Yeah, I'm gonna she's impaired now.
And then with my other one, I guess I'll go ahead and commit. Just sit down, take a breath. I want to shift towards heritage based on some of the interactions that I've had with the Fire Nation lady this arc. That'll center me out.
Okay, so as you're pushing her back, she's like ducking and dodging, and Hanako, roll with focus. This is out of combat.
Okay. That is a 9.
You notice that the gun that she was using before is not very far away from you. You notice that her rifle is sitting there unattended and easily within reach.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and grab it, if for nothing else, to get it, in my hands and definitively not hers.
You're not super familiar with this, but you suspect that it's probably loaded. At least with 1 round. It's a bolt action weapon. It has a little magazine attached to it. It's got a trigger. You're pretty sure you could figure this out if you needed to shoot it.
I've not shot a rifle before, but it can't be that different, right?
Not at this range. All right. Anyone else going to do anything out of combat-y?
I think Chong's going to continue to yell at her. Especially because he keeps getting into her face, being like, yeah, come at me. Come get some Chong. And keep in mind, Chong's at 4 fatigue. I mean, like Chong's like holding the arm she yanked. Oh yeah, you're so mad at me. Here I am living my best life while you're here being a basic bitch.
She was gonna say something to you, but honestly, this like sudden shift of approach is she just looks confused. So she's just backing away and like, what the fuck is happening? All right, if anyone else doesn't want to do anything, I think we're on to our next exchange.
I was going to evade and observe.
I'm gonna evade and observe again, and I've got a very particular idea.
I'm gonna advance and attack again.
All right, she's gonna advance and attack too.
So no one's defending and maneuvering?
No one's defending and maneuvering.
You know what? I'm going to shift my balance.
Fuck yeah.
To get this.
Shift towards inquiry and do a thing. She is going to Chong, she kind of like reaches down to her belt, and you notice that she has a line of cartridges along them. And then she does something that looks awfully familiar to you, which is that she kind of like takes her hand and flicks it. And you're suddenly hit with a bunch of like little pelty things. This is a strike. Choose Mark 2 fatigue, mark condition, shift your balance.
Oh, again, right for fatigue here. I think Chong's going to take another condition. So maybe he's afraid now because he knows what's going on.
And she is going to continue, like, as soon as she does this, she steps towards you again, grabs your collar. You're not impaired, but she's still pressuring you, so you still can't advance and attack on the next turn.
So Fuzhou noticed these cartridges while that happened.
Uh-huh.
And so he's going to strike.
Okay.
And basically going to crush as many of these cartridges as he can and flick them up at her.
Okay.
Close range, being pelted by tiny bullets.
Okay, so you're striking.
I am striking, and I'm going to mark another fatigue, forcing you to mark 2 fatigue.
Well, that's cool, but she is already at full fatigue, so she's going to mark the insecure condition. All right, so yeah, you hit her, and she kind of like falls back. Okay, evade and observe people. Let's go.
Oh my god, yes! 11 plus 1 is 12!
That's an 11.
Hell yeah! Okay, fuck shit up. Y'all did good.
Can I do mine first, and then Chong can do his, and then I'll do my last one, maybe?
Go for it, if you had something specific in mind.
So first, I'm going to use my my rapid assessment. And the question I want to ask is, hey, Janaya...
Yeah?
We've been pummeling her pretty hard, getting her on the back foot. Would you say that maybe she's been backed against the window?
Yeah, you know what? Sure. That sounds very reasonable. She's near the edge of the tower.
If Chong's got stuff to do, go ahead and do stuff, but I'm gonna take advantage of that with my second.
Chong was going to use the term bolster or hinder. So I think he's going to like call out to you guys for his first move, going like, you guys got everything on her. She's got nothing on us. Come here and kick her ass with me.
All right. You know what? You're all
inspired.
You're all inspired.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a second one.
I think Chong is going to commit. I like this idea that Chong's like, he lives up to kind of confidence.
Okay, shift your balance towards confidence.
I think with Chong doing all this, I think it's, you know, he's standing up for himself. He's answered, like, what are you fighting for? And I think he answered it pretty well. This is the closest Chong's been to death since we started the game, and I think he's, weirdly enough, that's kind of fueling this I got this mentality.
All right. And Hanako, what was your last thing you're gonna do?
So I would also like to bolster or hinder. And the way that I'd like this to happen is in sort of an adjacent way to earlier when I escaped from her grasp. I'd like to shoot a burst of fire at her to knock her back and inflict the trapped condition as she ends up dangling out of the window.
Okay, you know what? So you do that, and she stumbles backwards, sort of turns over the windowsill and lands out hanging there. And she is now terrified and also is incapacitated. You have ended combat. She is hanging there out of a fucking window, just kind of dangling there.
Moment of Balance will return after these messages.
They say that there's no perfect food in the world, but that's only because they've never tried the Papa Pear. An exquisite Earth Kingdom delight, the Papa Pear is rich in essential vitamins and minerals and packed full of delicious flavor. One bite and you'll feel like you're watching the sun rise over the walls of Ba Sing Se or taking in the vigorous sea breeze off the Chameleon Bay. Best of all, the Papa Pear is absolutely perfect for dozens of amazing recipes. Papa Pear pie, Papa Pear salsa, Papa Pear stew, pickled Papa Pear, just like Mom used to make. Find the Papa Pear at your local Earth Kingdom market today and bite off a little slice of Earth Kingdom history. Brought to you by the Earth Kingdom Farmers Association.
Most folks don't realize it, but the world is ripe with monsters. And when you have a monster problem, you need someone who is smart.
I came over here, I saw that there was a crime scene. I figured, I'd park here on the
Crime scene. Brave.
It's just not our fight. We just honk the horn, everybody dissipates, and we just ride away.
And qualified.
If nobody is going to assist David with this, he is going to pull out his nunchucks.
Who gave him those nunchucks?
Van Helmen's family is none of those things, but they're the best we've got, so check them out on Monster Cafe. Available now wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
Soma, I'm here. I've got snacks. Oh, stop it, Zopa.
Chong, you're here. Why is Zopa acting all crazy?
She just wants what's in the bag, which she can't have because fudge is not for cabins.
Ooh, fudge.
Yeah, I got us some fudge from Cali Sweets, and I got it for a great discount too. 10% off with coupon code Bard Rock Cafe.
I was gonna say, I didn't know you had money for snacks.
Hey, I make enough money busking. Zopa helps me bring in a lot when she's not trying to poison herself with my snacks.
Okay, if Zopa wants it so bad, it's gotta be good. Let me try some. Ooh, that's good. What is this?
It's a mint chocolate chip fudge. They have all sorts of crazy flavors too. Snickerdoodle, cotton candy, caramel apple, and of course your classic chocolate. And if you're sick of fudge, they have fancy popcorn too.
Popcorn, eh? Is this gonna be your excuse to take me to a mover?
You want to go see a mover?
Well, if you're asking.
Oh, I wasn't, but that sounds fun. Just a couple of friends out to the movers.
Right. Give me some more of that fudge.
Of course! Available at calisweets.com/bardrockcafe.
What?
Nothing!
And now, back to Moment of Balance.
I'll lean out of the window and cock my head at her. Does she say anything?
No, she's looking up at you and is like fuming. But she doesn't have any energy left. All she can do is hang on.
Need a hand? There needn't be more death today.
She looks up at you and just kind of looks defeated and lets go and drops to the ground.
I would like to try to reach down and grab her, but I don't know if that's going to be successful.
Roll to push your luck.
That's a 7.
Okay, all right. So you reach out and grab at her, and as you do this, like, you're able to sort of grab onto her wrist, but she is pulling you too. So you're now like doubled over the edge here, barely able to hold on. Chong and Fuzhou, you see Hanako like jerk forward, and she is now hanging out of this window, almost about to fall. Y'all want to do something?
Yeah, I'm gonna run and grab her and try and pull her back up.
Yeah, Chong is going to like grab Fuzhou and Hanako, or like maybe just Fuzhou, and help pull back too.
You know what? The two of you are able to, between the two of you, kind of like pull on Hanako and pull her up. She's holding on to this person, and you manage to pull her back in, and this person sort of like rolls over and just like falls down and passes out on the ground. So
Okay.
she's like just sort of flying there, motionless. As the chaos of combat subsides, you're up on this open rooftop. The entryway is collapsed at this point and blocked off. And you notice there's like a whole bunch of stuff around. There's like a camp set up. You can see like a bunch of different things arrayed. Probably there are some papers and stuff. You also notice that there is a radio that looks... Who saw it? Hanako. There's a radio that looks very similar to the one that you found earlier. And yeah, there's a bunch of stuff there. So yeah, what do you want to do? You can... Well, she's unconscious. She'll probably be unconscious for a little bit. And if you want to look around, I'm sure you could find things.
Always going to look for rope or something non-bendable to tie up our opponent's hands.
Oh, that's such a good idea, Chong.
That is
you
very
know what?
smart.
Fuck it. There's some rope there. Sure, she's got rope. Chong, as you're going to get the rope, you notice a series of papers. It looks like a bunch of notes in handwriting. If you want to take a look at them, I will post the contents of them in the chat.
Yes, I think Chong will look at them.
I would love to take a look at those.
So Chong, you notice this thing catches your eye.
Gotcha. I think Chong waves over at the others to look at the notes as well. He's like, hey guys, check these out.
Hanako lives for reading documents.
Also, Hanako, you're still holding that rifle that you were using before. Roll for focus.
That's an 11. Tell me everything.
Okay, so as you're going over, you happen to look down at this weapon. It's like very strange looking. Like it doesn't look like anything you've seen before, and there's something about it that like it looks not unfinished, but it looks like something that wasn't intended for production. It looks like a prototype. And as you're looking at it, you notice a small maker's mark that looks very similar to Varric's arsenal stamp.
Oh, no.
God damn it.
It appears to be made of platinum. You've spent enough time with Sabi that you kind of recognize what the metal looks like.
Fuzhou. And I point to the stamp.
God fucking damn it.
Fuzhou, would you like to inspect the weapon since you actually know more about
I would
firearms?
love to inspect the weapon.
Okay. Are you just going to kind of give it a complete, like, check everything?
Yep.
Okay, so you look over this weapon. It's a bolt action rifle. It has a magazine attached to it it looks like it holds about 5 rounds. It's mostly made of platinum and wood. It has Varric's armor stamp on it, and you notice that the rounds that are currently loaded are not the kind that you expected to find. They're not they wouldn't fragment when they hit something. They appear to be hardened with some kind of like there is a metal in the tip of these bullets that you can't bend, and it looks like it's been designed to punch through hard targets. That would be why you got shot through your cover before. Y'all want to keep looking around. Hanako, you do recognize this radio as something that you could probably figure out how to work if you wanted to.
While this is going on, Chong, his hand in the reading, Chong has, read through the notes and he's tying up our opponent.
Okay, yeah, she's knocked the fuck out, so that is easily accomplished.
While Chong's tying, he says, okay, is it just me, or is anyone else a little freaked out that apparently she had some pretty good info on at least us?
Seems like she had pretty good info on everyone. Can I roll to inspect evidence?
You absolutely can. Go for it. Do the thing.
Okay, that's an 11.
Okay.
What's something a casual observer might have missed?
About the gun or about what?
About the whole scene.
All right, so you're spending some time like poking around and all this stuff, and you find a few other pieces of interest. All right, so you notice a few things. One is that you encounter a bunch of like the more you look at this, the more this is clearly someone with military experience, and you notice a bunch of like ID cards, and you see that each of them is like they're printed on heavy paper. They have a black and white photo on each of them, and they look very familiar because they are the people that you have encountered up until now, including this woman. All right, so you find these 3 identifications. So the first one, the picture looks like the woman you've just finished beating up here. The second one is Zedinia, and the third one is the woman that had the airbending and waterbending. So as you're looking around, you got those IDs, and then you notice a couple other things. The ammunition you find, you don't just find this stuff that was in the magazine of the gun. You also find several rounds of a different ammunition. And as you inspect this, you notice that the metal in the bullet is very hard but very fragile. You get the sense that if this hit something, it would kind of burst into dust. So this fits in exactly with what you've seen in wounds in the past. You also find tucked into this woman's possessions itinerary and schedules that are copies of the one. They're the original copies of the schedules and itinerary that are provided to the guests. Which you were one of the people that investigated the room, right?
Yes.
So you notice that these appear to be documents that were missing from the other bender's room. So Captain Yu. So yeah, that's all you see. There's a lot of like camp gear. This is someone that was here for a little while and was very, very prepared for this. You also recognize, like, just from being alive, recognize that the uniform is that of the Earth Kingdom. And Hanako, you're going to go to the radio?
Yeah.
Okay, as you walk up to the radio, you notice there's a little sheet that's tacked on next to it. So you see this. From your experience in the Fire Nation Navy, this looks like a radio authentication sheet. So this would be something that would be used to contact somebody and verify their identity and report back. And you notice that, up until this frequency, as it appears, they're scratched out except for the last 3.
Okay, so it looks like today is day 5?
Yeah, or that day 5 has just elapsed. Also, as you're looking at the radio, it appears to be operable. Like, the radio is the same kind of, like, short range. You would need somebody nearby with a receiver, but you could use it if you wanted to.
I want to, and I also want to, when it seems like a reasonable time to do so, I want to do this.
You want to try the call and response?
I want to try on day 6 to call that frequency.
Based on the timing of this, you suspect that you might actually be on the beginning of day 6. She hasn't called in yet.
Okay, I'll tune the radio to 102.3.
Okay.
Once I've done that, I'll just speak into the microphone and say, Firebox.
Firebox receiving. This is Acolyte. Go ahead.
Things have gone horribly here.
Say again, Firebox.
It didn't work. Who is this?
There's a long pause. Who are you?
You're never going to find out if you don't answer me first.
There's no response on the radio.
Yeah, I'll hang it up.
If you don't see anything else of note, you've collected all of the obvious pieces of information here.
I'll tune it to whatever I would assume the frequency for the mainland might be and see if I can get a hold of somebody. I don't know. That might involve me just sitting and playing around.
We'll say that's something you could do when you get back to the main facility. Actually, hey, Fuzhou, you think that you might be able to get the main radio working again with the parts from this radio.
Okay.
You might be able to jury-rig something that could at least, like, plug this into the transmitter so you'd have extended range. So you could actually get a call out to the mainland.
Well, I want to bend some stairs from the window down for us.
Okay, so you're not going to bother clearing out the stairs. You just want to, make new ones?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sure. That's easy to do.
And I also want to collect as much evidence as
okay. This stuff is you can easily gather it up. If you want to take the rifle, there's a sling. You've got the means to collect the things you found.
Does Chong see any Papa Pear that's around?
Yes. Yes. You notice that there's some Papa. I forgot about the Papa Pear. Yeah, you notice that there's obviously like food and water, and this person definitely has Papa Pear. You see a bunch of it. It looks fresh, which fits in with the indication that this person was like moving around the island and like interacting with the locals to some degree. All right, so you're gonna go take this person back to the compound.
Take her back. Take the evidence back.
All right.
I might airbend her down because she might be too heavy for everyone to carry.
I actually have one thing that I want to flag down for Fuzhou's help with. After we've finished examining everything up there and a little bit of time passes, I want to hand the radio off to Fuzhou. All right. Now I want you to tune to 102.3, give them the call sign, and report back as if your radio has been stolen, and you need to request a rendezvous point.
Copy. It's going to take the radio. Firebox.
You just hear the sound of static. No response. You wait around for a few minutes and there's no response.
I do it again.
Still no response.
Firebox, this is Tao Fang Moran. I'm requesting a transport at the rendezvous point. Things have gone awry.
Still no response.
No bite.
While this is going on, Chong has found the papa pears and is like examining them, maybe like tentatively biting some of them and forgetting that he doesn't like it.
Also, so just quick note, both you, especially Hanako, and you also Fuzhou from your like police training, you know this radio is a short range. So like the person receiving this has to be close by.
On the island close by?
Not on the island close by, but like right on the shore or possibly like on a boat. So they would be, you know, within a fairly short distance, but not on the island, probably. From the sound on the radio, you suspect they're not on the island.
Can we see to the mainland from the tower?
You can faintly see the mainland. It's not like out of sight, but it's not super close.
Do I see any boats on the horizon?
You do not see any boats on the horizon.
Okay, yeah.
From logical deduction, you suspect that somebody has probably made a hide somewhere along the shore. Your eyes aren't good enough to see it.
All right.
Oh, wait. You do, however, have a rifle with a magnified scope on it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, and theoretically, I know how to aim a gun. Yeah, I wanna set up with the scope, see if I can get a closer look.
Okay, so you set up with the scope and you sort of like scan the horizon. Roll for focus.
That's a 7.
Okay, you see a couple of spots that look like they might be an encampment. You can't tell if they're recent or not. There's a couple points where it looks like someone might have been like camping. They might have set up a shelter. You don't see any people, but you do have a couple of locations that you suspect might have something interesting.
Fuzhou, I know a couple of places on the mainland we should check out when we get back.
Got it.
In the meantime, let's get back to the compound and see what we can do.
All right. So you're gonna ride back on Azula. You got all your crap on here. So you're riding back on Azula, and you ride back and you see Colonel Takamori is there, like standing out in the courtyard looking at you. What the hell happened out there?
There was a sniper in the tower, and we brought them back.
Good. Take them in there. She points toward the area where the freezer is. Make sure they're secured. Since I'm the ranking officer in charge right now, I'll be taking over.
I wouldn't put her in the freezer if I were you. Is there anywhere in this facility that is majority wood?
She looks around and motions toward the bedrooms. Put her in one of the bedrooms under guard. Move the other one in with her.
I'd remove anything sharp from the room as well.
She looks at you kind of like she's about to snap and then just kind of like nods at you and kind of walks off to go take care of that.
Chong also adds, like, anything she could, like, choke on, like, baby-proof everything.
The colonel stops and kind of like squints at you, Chong, but then nods to you in a slightly more like, okay, kind of way.
Chong nods back, dead serious.
So you see the Fire Nation lieutenant or captain and the Earth Nation lieutenant there. They go and grab Tao Fang, and they're also like, escorting Adenia, who is now conscious again, but like she's not cooperative. Also restrained. So they're going to take them into like the bedroom area. In the courtyard, you see 3 sheet-covered lumps. The one that's Alfred is still where he was before, and then next to him are 2 others that you assume are James and Captain Yu. And you see Yui is kind of like standing off to the side, looking shell-shocked, and Baisa is standing there kind of like looking at the bodies. Just, they look kind of like contemplative, I guess.
What is Fuzhou doing? Because I want to have one last moment with Baisa, but I also want to be around to help Fuzhou repair the radio, because if I can do the radio thing, I can finally trigger my goddamn growth question at the end of this mystery.
I think first Fuzhou's going to go up to Baisa, so you can just follow.
Cool.
Well, good news. We caught the killer.
I'm pleased to hear that. This was put me quite out of my depth, Inspector.
For what it's worth, your help was invaluable.
I'm glad to hear that. I must apologize again for how I comported myself in the beginning. I see that I was something of a piece in a larger game here. Not a feeling I relish.
You did mention you were sent here by King Wu because you were given a tip about a rogue airbender. Where did you get this information, pray tell?
I was at my office and I received an anonymous phone call from an individual with a deep voice that warned me that there was going to be an airbender, that I should watch out for this phantom bullet technique, which I'm now convinced might be entirely fabricated. And then they did not respond to my inquiries as to their identity or requests for further information.
Did they give you a code name?
I'm afraid they did not. I simply asked my name and then knew a surprising amount about my day-to-day affairs, which did strike me as strange. I think I became caught up in the mystery of it all and overlooked the simple fact that the individual calling me was a rather suspicious occurrence in and of itself.
These three aren't the only three out there. They were communicating with someone else.
Do you have any idea who?
All we know is codename Acolyte and codename Prophet. And I'm going to hand her the sheet with the call signs.
They look over the call signs and they kind of like squint at it.
Your description of the voice matches what we heard when we attempted to call them.
I mean, I don't profess to know all that much about the day-to-day operations of these sorts of people, but this does appear to be some kind of check-in schedule, and I don't know if these are two separate individuals or possibly just a shift in code name for some other reason. I wish I could say more. Was there any other information that you found and any other evidence that you might have found out?
I pass over the, I guess, journal entries, for lack of a better word, as well as the ID cards.
They're looking through and kind of like reading through and trying to figure out like what the stuff is.
The Earth Kingdom attaché is still here and was not associated with these people, right?
Yes, that's correct.
I would like to fetch her.
How's she doing? She got real fucked up last time.
Yeah, she's been better. She's conscious again. She's injured. She's got like bandages on and one of her arms is kind of in a sling, but she's alive.
Lieutenant Min.
Yes?
Just one thing very quickly. We've procured identities of each of the assailants, but in some of their notes they refer to a RL. They all are previous Earth Kingdom military types. Do the initials RL ring any bells?
I don't... She's like thinking for a second. Do you have the, did you give her like any of the documents or anything like that?
I'll let her look over them if she thinks it'll help jog her memory.
Yeah, so she's like flipping through the documents and you see something in her eyes kind of light up. These were military intelligence under Kuvira. These were bad people. I don't... The initials, though, I want you to roll to guide and comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not good people, but if you're concerned about getting blowback for anything, I can assure you that...
No, everyone in Kuvira's army that stayed loyal to her was discharged, and this stamp here, that all of their identification is void. They were stripped of their rank. They must have gone into hiding. Some of them were put on trial for what they did. Some of them got away with it, but...
That's a 9.
Okay. She furrows her brow and takes a second, and then like looks through the ideas again and says, "There's only... This is gonna sound ridiculous, but right before Kuvira, there was a terrorist group called the Red Lotus. That's the only thing I can think of. There's no city that has those initials, and I don't know of any person with them." But she shrugs and just hands you back the documents.
The Red Lotus. All right. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Min.
She nods to you.
You've earned a lot of rest.
She laughs and, like, sits back.
I'll take everything back, and I'll turn to everybody and say, does the Red Lotus ring any bells?
I think Fuzhou would know.
Fuzhou? Okay, so Fuzhou, yeah, you...
might have heard them in his travels.
Okay, so the two of you have heard very different things about the Red Lotus. Fuzhou, you've heard essentially that they were a terrorist group.
Yes.
You know that they were responsible for killing the Earth Queen.
Yeah.
That is, like, pretty widely known
Yes.
information, and you've been given, like, briefs about them. As far as you know, all the known members of the Red Lotus were all either killed or captured,
Yes.
and as far as you know, are still in captivity. Chong, you've heard, like, rumors about them that kind of make them sound like boogeymen. Like, you've heard a lot more of these kind of sensationalist stories about, you heard the stories about how this guy, like, choked the Earth Queen using airbending powers, and something about a woman that could explode things with her mind, and a guy that could, like, bend lava, and a woman with no arms. Like, all these very fragmented stories, and you're not sure what of it is true and what isn't. But that's the stuff you've heard.
I bet Chong uses stories like this to, like, scare his younger siblings.
You're familiar with this happened a few years ago, and as far as you know, things have been quietish since.
Definitely rings some bells. You remember the murder of the Earth Queen 4 years ago? They were behind that.
Delightful.
Chong looks at you like, oh snap, that was, like, real?
What do you mean that was, like, real? Did you not pay attention to global news when the leader of one of the 4 nations had her breath ripped out of her lungs? You're an airbender.
Okay, like...
You're an airbender. Why didn't you know about this airbending news?
So I heard of it, and I thought it was kind of like... I knew she was dead, but I thought the airbender thing was kind of like some fake news, because... let's be real. That's pretty wild. I kind of used that to get, like, my youngest brother to eat his vegetables.
Fuzhou just sticks his head in his hands.
I promise I knew she was dead.
Back what I said earlier. You are that big of an idiot.
Are you having this conversation within the hearing range of Bisa by any chance?
Yeah.
Okay. So Bisa kind of, like, pokes their head in and sort of holds up a finger. I hate to interrupt this conversation, but I was a resident of Ba Sing Se when the Earth Queen was deposed, and as your friend said, that was in fact an airbender that killed her. It's something of a common story in the city. I think anyone who's from there recently would know it. These are some very dangerous people, although I must say nothing has been heard of them for several years, although I think nothing was heard of these intelligence officers either, so that obviously doesn't mean everything.
Bisa, do you by any chance actually work directly for the Earth Kingdom government?
Kind of. I mean, King Wu did hire me, but I think it's more that he's a fan of my work, and he's very easily distracted and very easily enticed into doing things that maybe aren't the best decisions.
Close enough. He'll listen to you.
Oh, I think he would, yes.
I'm gonna trust you with this. You need to bring this information back to the Earth Kingdom. You need to let them know what happened here. I will do my best to relay things as well, but clearly I work for the United Republic. I have no pull over there. You need to convince the Earth King to begin investigating this, because clearly there is more out there than just this handful of fanatics.
I certainly can do that. They're sort of thinking for a second. I have a small photographic device in my luggage. I would like to take pictures of this evidence so I could bring it back to the Earth Kingdom, and I'll let y'all do what you want with the original copies. I think that this is something that might be of interest to the United Republic government as well, and probably of interest to the Fire Nation and the Water Tribes as well.
If there's any possibility that the Red Lotus is making a return, it would behoove us to inform as many governments as possible.
I agree. I will make photographic copies of these and then take these back to King Wu. I think he'd be willing to listen to me. They take the copies of the documents and go off to make photographs of it. So they're off.
Well, I want to head over to that radio and try and fix that.
All right.
Yeah, let's go fix the radio together.
All right, y'all gonna go to the radio. All right, so the radio is in pretty bad shape, but the actual, there is like a hookup to the antenna system, which you are pretty sure that with some assistance, you could get it set up so that this smaller radio can like piggyback onto the larger transmitter. So like the radio itself has been destroyed, but like the transmission equipment isn't completely like, that's fine. Whoever did this did it hastily and, did it without the use of like bending or anything. So yeah, so you could definitely take a little time to hook this up to the main transmitter, which would give you the range to reach somewhere outside of the general area here.
I will try and, twist until we find a signal that makes sense.
Okay. You reach like the port control for like the area, like where you set sail from. You get through to somebody at the port control, and after a little bit of explaining and confusion of what the hell is happening, you relay what's been going on over the last few days. You relay that the ships have been damaged, and they agree that they're going to send another like ferry out to get everyone off the island. You also relay that there are dangerous prisoners, so they're going to send Earth Kingdom like soldiers along as well. You relay all the pertinent information about how not great these people are and all that good stuff. So yeah, you got a ride coming in a few hours now. Do you also want to relay the information about the stuff that you saw from the tower, Hanako?
Yes.
Okay, so they agree that they're going to pass that along to the local garrison and try to figure out what's going on or catch whoever it is.
I also request that if they report to me anything that they find out there so that I can report back to the United Republic.
Absolutely. Okay, all right, so now y'all can do whatever you want to do in the meantime. So you got a few hours before the boat comes.
I want to speak with Noriko one last time.
Okay, you got it. All right, Noriko has like come out from the sort of like dorm area. She's just like sitting out by the entryway to it.
Chong is going to take a nap in his room.
Oh.
Chong deserves a nap.
So, by the way, so when you go to your room, you notice that the rooms have like a couple of them have been hastily converted into basically makeshift prison cells. So, the guards are very closely watching the captives here. So, okay, cool. Yeah, so I guess that means that Hanako, you're free to go talk to Colonel Takamori if you want. She's kind of like sitting down on there's like a bench or something, and she's just kind of sitting there like playing with one of the swords that she has.
Colonel.
Yes, Hanako. Sit down.
Thank you. And she does. I thought it best to keep you informed. There is a boat on the way, and we don't have definitive proof, but I thought it best to make the Fire Nation aware that there is a possibility of Red Lotus involvement.
She raises an eyebrow. The terrorist group?
Yes.
Do you have any evidence of this? She doesn't sound annoyed, just kind of like wondering about it.
Not hard evidence in particular, but a series of notes that we found made reference to an RL whom the group seemed to be reporting back to. In absence of any other more reasonable possibilities after conferring with the Earth Kingdom military officer present, it seemed a possibility worth noting.
She kind of like looks out for a second. She's thinking about this and then turns back to you. I will bring this to the attention of my superiors. This summit was supposed to be an opportunity to strengthen our bonds with the other kingdoms, and with the industry of this world, and clearly did not go as intended.
Colonel, just because the meeting did not go as planned does not mean that this necessarily need be a failure in the deepening of relation between our nations.
I sincerely hope that you're right about that.
Well, given that we are the two representatives here, I think that we're the ones who get to make that choice.
You know, I thought I had the measure of you when you came here, and I was wrong about you. The Fire Nation lost a valuable asset when you decided to leave, but I suppose you had your reasons for doing it.
Believe me, Colonel, if I thought that there was a future for me in the Fire Nation, I would have happily stayed. But we all have to follow our own paths. And for what it's worth, I think I sized you up quite well from the start. You are the most capable person here.
She sort of like does a little flourish with the sword she's been playing with and sticks it away and smiles and just kind of looks out, and you see her face kind of like drop for a second. It's unfortunate that those two had to pay for our own oversight.
Indeed. Though, perhaps, with their deaths and with the information that we found, we can prevent anything else from happening. It seems that something deeper is moving.
I sincerely hope that you're right. I assume the prisoners will be taken into custody of the Earth Kingdom, seeing as it's their loose ends that caused all this to begin with.
I'm certain that if the Earth Kingdom doesn't deal with them properly, that I can get the United Republic to do something.
She nods at that, kind of just goes back to looking out in the courtyard.
It's been an honor, Colonel. If I still held my rank, you'd be promoted by tomorrow.
She laughs at that. You deserved your rank far more than your mother ever did.
Can I move my balance towards heritage, please?
You sure can.
Hanako beams at that.
I think that's a good place to end that scene. All right. Anything else you want to do? Yui is still around somewhere. You still got the rifle.
I would like, and I don't know who should have this scene, but I would like somebody maybe to have a scene with Yui.
So Yui being the person, probably the only person left alive who's still in any way familiar with the kind of industrial products that are produced by Varric and Future Industries, might have some insight into the gun that you found. She's not a firearms person specifically, but yeah, she's familiar with this kind of stuff to some degree.
Fuzhou should flag her down to take a look.
Where is she? What's she doing?
We'll say she's in the like eating area, just kind of like looking fucking bombed out after everything.
Excuse me, Yui?
Yes. Yes?
Don't be freaked out. I have a couple questions for you.
Okay. What questions do you have?
As the VP of Client Outreach for Future Industries, I assume that you had some sort of rapport with Varric Industries. Is that correct?
She's nodding. And you see she's kind of like lighting up a little bit. Like you piqued her interest. Did you bring the gun with you?
Yes, I did. I assume Bisa's done taking the pictures. Yeah, I grabbed the gun. This rifle was not on the market when Varric Industries went under.
Oh.
But it has his stamp.
Oh. Can I see that?
Of course. It's been unloaded. There's no chance that you can accidentally kill another person with it.
She, her whole demeanor changes. Like, you see her, push up her glasses and get, really focused, and she picks up this gun, and she doesn't look comfortable with it the way that Sabi looks comfortable with firearms. She looks comfortable with it in the way that somebody who's, very mechanically knowledgeable is comfortable with stuff. She very quickly, starts, turning it around in her hand. She kind of, pulls the bolt back. She takes a look underneath. She notices the armor's mark, and she notices, she's looking at the thingy on the barrel and everything. This is fascinating. This is one of Varric's prototypes. The date here This was made... This was made a few years ago, but it looks like one of his pieces. I've seen his machines before. She's continuing to sort of investigate this as she does this. But it's been modified. This thing on the end, I'm not an expert in guns, but I think this probably dispelled some of the gas when it shot. That explains why we couldn't hear it before. Someone modified this. Someone very knowledgeable modified this, but it's something the Varric made originally, but not recently.
You wouldn't happen to know what happened to all of his stocks? All of his everything left over when he was liquidated?
I mean, different companies picked it up, but this isn't an armorer's mark. This is a maker's mark from Varric. He didn't have this manufactured. He made this himself.
So someone would have had to either take it from him directly. He would have had to have given it to someone. Or he chucked it out the window one day in frustration and someone picked it off the street.
She's looking very closely at this, and then she notices something, and so you see her, like, sort of release a couple of pins on the rifle, and she pulls back, the barrel kind of folds out of the stock, and she's looking at the inside of it and says, there are Earth Kingdom markings on some of this hardware. This was made using parts from the Earth Kingdom Imperial Army's stores. She snaps the rifle back and reassembles it.
That is certainly good to know. Not that you'd know this, but is the Earth Kingdom Army arming themselves?
No, you don't understand. Not the Earth Kingdom Army, the Imperial Army, Kuvira's army.
Oh.
This was made during her reign, but it has Varric's mark on it. I don't know why.
He used to work for her.
Oh, that would explain it.
He was the one who designed the spirit nukes.
I thought that was just a rumor that he did that.
Who else in this world is crazy enough to create something like that?
Well, this looks like one of his pieces. It was probably a prototype that he made for Kuvira, which, judging by who ended up with it, it got lost. She does in air quotes when she says that. At some point. It's wonderful craftsmanship, completely impervious to metal bending, and I don't know who made this thingy on the end, but it's ingenious.
I do genuinely wonder what he would have called this if he had released it to the public. Perhaps the Emperor's Friend?
The Emperor's Friend? That's ridiculous. Who would call something like that?
Well, did you ever see his fully platinum pistols?
Yes, I did.
The President's Friend?
Yeah, I heard they were going to rename them at some point. Oh, poor Mr. Carlyle. He was a lot, but I still feel bad.
He did not ask to be caught up in any of this.
No. You might want to take this back to Miss Sato. She'd be interested in it.
I'd be happy to. I mean, I'm planning on taking all the evidence back to the United Republic. It will all be in the hands of the government. So she's welcome to come and take a look at it at any time. I understand the government trusts her opinion as much as they do, well, more so than they do mine, I'm sure.
I think she'd be interested in talking to whoever modified the gun. This is very clever. Personally, I'm just looking forward to going back to my job. I don't... There's a reason I never went to work for Varric's defense industry. He tried to scout me at one point, but I'm glad I said no.
Let me guess, you could taste the crazy from a mile away?
Yeah, he's a very overwhelming man to deal with.
Yep. Yes, he is. You should see him in the back of a police car.
Well, I guess he got what he deserved in the end. I'm gonna go lay down. I haven't actually slept in a day or two.
We'll be sure to wake you when the transport comes.
Thank you for figuring all this out and stopping them. I don't know what we would have done without all of you. This was... She just kind of trails off and, like, scurries off to her room. Okay, then I think it's going to be Bisa training if you want to do that, Hanako, and then wrap this up.
Yeah, so here is mechanically what is happening. I want to use training with Bisa as a flavorful explanation for why Hanako is learning the martial sensitive move out of her playbook. When she knows the principle of a foe, mark fatigue to roll with harmony instead of focus when she defends and maneuvers, because she can read their intentions during battle. I don't need to roll anything for this because I'm not learning a technique. I am taking this move as a level up, and flavorfully, I want it to be because me and Bisa traded tips, right?
That sounds great. All right, yeah, well, Bisa's out there in the courtyard looking over photographs of evidence, so feel free to approach them and talk however you want.
Bisa.
Yes, Miss Hanako, I'm sorry, what can I help you with?
It's okay. I had a request that maybe was a bit out of the blue, considering everything that's just happened.
Okay, well, shoot.
How serious were you when you mentioned wanting to learn how I changed my demeanor so dramatically?
Wow, I wouldn't say it if I wasn't serious. That is a most interesting technique, I suppose you would call it. I'd be very interested in learning how you did that.
Well, on the boat ride back, if you were interested, I could give you some tips, see what we could do with you. In exchange, I was hoping that you might give me some tips about how you read people so easily. I have some ideas about how I might be able to apply that in battle in the future.
Well, certainly, I'd be happy to help you out. If I'm being honest with you, I think that you've already got the essential skills in your repertoire already. It's just a matter of knowing how to put all the pieces together correctly. See, I find in my youth I had a difficult time relating to other people. It always seemed like such a mystery to me, and then that was when I realized that was the trick of it, is to approach those interactions as if they're a puzzle and look for the little clues that indicate what a person is experienced with or thinking or feeling. Normally, people just dismiss all that outright. They look only at the raw surface of a person, but you gotta really put yourself out of it. Look at what they're saying to you, and then you start to unravel that puzzle a little bit at a time, not making too many assumptions. A thing which I have fallen guilty of in this very adventure with your airbending friend.
Water under the bridge.
Well, no, this is a good example though, because see that young man, he did not in any way strike me as being a killer. You know, the way he carries himself is very light. He doesn't have the gravity of someone who's taken a life or who wants to take a life. And then when I accused him, the genuine surprise, the way that he went back on his feet, like these are all signs, and I chose to ignore them and press forward in the moment. You can't do that. You can't let yourself become so wrapped up in the moment that you ignore those pieces, if you understand what I mean.
Of course. I consider myself quite good at sizing people up, seeing what it is that they're really good at, even if they're not immediately presenting that skill to the world. It's, in a way, the same skill that allowed me to figure out how best to put your skills to use.
I think that is, as I said, an excellent foundation. You step back. You don't allow yourself to become so many people are so focused on establishing themselves, on making sure everyone knows that they are in charge of the situation. And sometimes, and again, I must admit that I failed at this in this adventure. You need to step back and simply observe and let the information come to you, and then you can decide when, how, and even if you will choose to act at all. I think you've already figured it out, if we're being honest, and I think you need to trust yourself.
Well, thank you. This has been quite enlightening.
I'm glad, and I look forward to you. I look forward to you showing me this trick you had. Just one question: is it perhaps enhanced by the use of a faux mustache of some kind, or perhaps a hat?
Hanako smiles almost as widely as when she was talking to Noriko and says, I am certain that would only enhance the effect. And that's where we'll cut that off.
I think if all of you are done wrapping stuff up, I think, yeah, we're going to just call it. So everyone gets gathered up. The captives are under custody of the Earth Kingdom. Transport arrives. There's a bunch of Earth Kingdom people on there. And so who made the request that information be given to them? Hanako, that was you, right?
That was me.
As you're going to the boat, you see an Earth Kingdom like sergeant or something come up to you, and he kind of like flags you down. Hanako, excuse me, are you Miss Hanako by any chance?
I am.
Ma'am, I was told to report to you when we located intelligence about some locations you'd provided to us.
Excellent. Tell me everything.
Honestly, man, we didn't find much. 2 of the locations looked like they were fishermen's encampments. There was one location that there were signs that someone had been there very recently. By the time we got there, they had left, but there were signs of a recent campfire and evidence that they'd been hiding there for some time. And our scouts did recover this. He shows you it's a like high-powered scope that looks like the one that was on the rifle that you recovered, but without a rifle attached to it.
And that's everything?
Unfortunately, that's everything we found. Everything else looked like it had been cleaned out in a hurry, and whoever was there was left. We tried to follow the traces, but the trail went cold after a few hundred yards.
Unfortunate, but expected. Perhaps I shouldn't have been so hasty. Thank you for your report.
Yes, ma'am. So yeah, you're going to get on the boat, and you're going to start making your way back to Republic City.
Yay!
And yeah.
I was so hyped to see Zopa.
By the way, so Hanako, another thing for you.
Yeah.
As you are like on the boat, some other like random person finds you and flags you down and lets you know that they've been trying to deliver a letter to you for the last like while and finally managed to track you down. And you can tell from the handwriting on the envelope that this is a letter from Sabi.
Thank you for listening to Moment of Balance. This episode featured Janiyah Riley as our GM, Chrissy Sylvia as Chong, Dami Carmia as Hanako, and Anna Marcus as Officer Fuzhou and our producer. The music for this episode was written by Anna Marcus. This episode was edited by Dami Carmia and Anna Marcus. If you liked what you heard, you could support us on Patreon at patreon.com/badrep. Huge thanks to our patrons: Janiyah Riley, Saturn Nieves, Warren Kelly, Veer, Rowan Parker, Melanie Archer, KK, Marty Balmer, and Paul Kinter. Moment of Balance is produced by Bad Rep Productions and is part of the Bard Rock Network. Check out Bad Rep's other shows at badrep.productions and Bard Rock's other shows at bardrockcafe.com. Bard Rock Network is sponsored by Dragon Master Games at dragonmastergames.com. And remember, Windfall is a blessing in disguise. We can only rise once we have fallen on our ass.